So a few months ago, I did a video about the underwhelming box office results for Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, a movie I happen to enjoy. And in typical YouTube fashion, I put in big bold letters in the thumbnail, blame the women. And a lot of people who are too lazy to watch a 7 to 10 minute video got very upset. Even larger YouTube channels got upset and started jumping to conclusions. What the video was actually about was me defending Furiosa and women from these people who cry agenda when it is not appropriate.
Message!
And now that I'm hearing similar complaints about Ballerina, I figured why not do it again. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Now I can feel the butthurt in the comment section already, considering I'm making a video about a movie that I didn't watch. How dare you make videos about a movie you haven't seen yet? Sorry, I turned into an angry James Gunn fan for a second.
Nobody likes a smartass, alright?
But the truth is, I don't think Ballerina underperforming at the box office necessarily has anything to do with the film's quality. In fact, most people who have seen it seem to enjoy it. And I get it, I've been there. With movies like Furiosa, it sucks when other people don't appreciate a movie that you feel like deserves more support. But I do think that this has become kind of a reoccurring trend at this point. And there are a lot of parallels to be drawn between Furiosa and Ballerina. We are talking about male-dominated action franchises that attempted to tell the story of another character in that world. And it just so happens that both characters happen to be female.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Now this would appear to add fuel to the fire when it comes to certain individuals proclaiming that nobody wants to see a female Mad Max or nobody wants to see a female John Wick. And even though seemingly each of these characters have their own names, their own characteristics, their own stories, they are still being looked at by some as knockoff versions of their male counterparts. You see, perception is everything, and this goes back to what I was talking about in my Black Panther video just the other day. The truth is that modern Hollywood has trained audiences to be skeptical of spin-offs that focus on other characters. And to be clear, I'm not just talking about movies with replacement female characters. How many times over the past several years has Hollywood tried to take this iconic character that we all love and tried to pass the torch to a new character who is supposed to carry this franchise into the future?
Son of a bitch.
How many times have they tried it, and how many times has it not worked? The answer is a lot. The truth is that audiences have become more and more resistant to the idea of replacement characters. And again, I'm not even saying that Furiosa and Ballerina are replacement characters. I'm simply saying that a lot of people are going to view them that way, regardless of the intent behind them. Another aspect of this that I think people are growing tired of is the whole concept of expanded universes. I think people are starting to realize that not everything is meant to be expanded on. But here's the thing, even if you do it, and you just so happen to create something that is worthwhile, there's a good chance that audiences are going to reject it anyway. Because now these projects have the stigma of a money grab around them. Or maybe audiences just feel like enough is enough, and they feel like trying to expand on certain franchises is simply just beating a dead horse.
No, don't like that.
Daredevil Born Again is a great example. A lot of people who watched it said that it was great. But a majority of people didn't give a shit enough to watch it because of MCU and superhero burnout. So is it possible that people are already burnt out on the idea of a John Wick universe? You see, I'm someone who's not really a big fan of the John Wick movies to begin with, and that's a big reason why I had little to no interest in watching Ballerina, because I assumed it would just be more of the same. But I have noticed online that some John Wick fans have come crashing back down to earth after the hype of John Wick 4 wore off. And this tends to happen with overhyped movies. When reality sets in, and you start to realize that a movie might not be as good as you thought it was, the more that you think about it. I believe a little bit of that happened after John Wick 4, so is it possible that a spin-off in this universe wasn't all that appealing to even some John Wick fans?
That makes sense.
You see, Hollywood sometimes has this habit of trying to take things a step or two too far, and trying to expand the John Wick universe and milk it for all it's worth now might not have been the best course of action. In the words of Ian Malcolm, you were so preoccupied with whether or not you could that you didn't stop to think if you should. I believe that Keanu Reeves is a big reason why these movies work for some people. And no, including him in the trailer after his death is not the same as him headlining the movie, even if you put his name in the title. I think some audience members are a lot less likely to be manipulated by obvious manipulation tactics, which I think is a good thing overall as it pertains to audiences raising their standards.
Jesus Christ, it's about time!
So in short, no, women and female characters are not to blame. And I can't speak on the quality of this film, obviously, but I don't think that that's to blame either. I think the reason that Ballerina debuted with a $51 million global box office haul on a $90 million budget, plus reshoot costs, and a marketing budget of $45 million, a movie some are suggesting needs to make $200 million plus just to break even though it's probably more. The reason that this movie could potentially be on its way to becoming a flop is, put quite simply, audiences are starting to see through the bull. I think it's more than appropriate to ask the question because it was asked to me even when I was praising Furiosa, who actually asked for this movie. And if you take into consideration the underwhelming first week box office numbers, the answer apparently is not many people. As always, the overall success of this movie will depend on whether or not it has legs. And it seems to have some decent word of mouth, so I guess anything is possible. But if we take into consideration the almost guaranteed at this point second week drop, and the fact that general public interest just doesn't seem to be there to begin with, I think Ballerina is climbing an uphill battle as it pertains to making a profit.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Insert James Franco meme here. Insert Homer sitting on the couch meme here as well. Ballerina fans and Furiosa fans unite, we have yet another victim of the unrealistic expectations established by modern Hollywood.
Y'all be cool. Right on.